Walt Disney. The animated drawing has matured and has taken its rightful place among the fine arts.
Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought. So, I heard you like Reboot, so I'm gonna put some Reboot in your reboot. Oh, shut up, that was funny. Today we're going to take a look at how one can reboot a beloved franchise, how one can take the ideas of the old and combine it with the ideas of the new to make something hopefully even better. Or more to the point, we're going to take a look at a show that's just ready to be rebooted as we speak and see whether or not they're on the right track. Spoilers, they're not. The show in question is, well, Reboot. Reboot, for those of you not in the know, was one of the world's, if not the world's, first fully computer-generated TV show. We're talking before Pixar made Toy Story, before any of the Japanese Transformers shows came to America that were computerized. Reboot did it first. The show focused on the inhabitants of Mainframe, a city within your computer. This included ones, zeros, sprites, which were pretty much human looking but with weird colors, and an array of bizarre characters, some robotic looking, some just kinda alien in design. Our main character is Bob, the Guardian.
Because I never do favors for slime? I don't know, it's just a theory.
Bob is pretty much an antivirus. Think Avast or McAfee. Episodes usually focused on Bob and his friends defending Mainframe from several threats. One of his friends was his love interest, Dot Matrix. No, not that one. This one.
What do you think? Does it make me look too butch? Look, this isn't the supercomputer. Around here, we mainframers stick together, and when it comes to Megabyte, the answer is always no.
And her excitable younger brother, Enzo.
Bob! Jack out, crash, crunch, backslash, delete, trash, log off!
Enzo.
What?
I think Bob gets the picture.
That's for sure.
It is these characters that really made the show. It didn't fall into your typical cliches. Dot wasn't the typical nagging female straight man character you get in most shows. You know the type.
Take it easy, dweeb. This wasn't my idea. Somebody convinced my mom that going camping for the summer would be a good experience for me.
She was smart and, yes, a little stern, but that more stemmed from the fact that she was a mother figure to her younger brother Enzo. She was always there watching over him, and a businesswoman. So, yes, parts of the show revolved around her just trying to run a business in a world where pretty much anything could happen. And in case you're wondering, the love dynamic between her and Bob, it wasn't one-sided. They didn't play it for comical effect like they do in other shows.
Sounds like a good plan. I can be very distracting.
It was mutually felt, really subtle actually, which is a very refreshing change when it comes to children's cartoons. For it just to be two people who kind of like each other, but it's not overly played, and it's not necessarily played for laughs. Enzo, though, like mentioned earlier, he was a bit excitable, he wasn't your typical sidekick character. Yes, of course, in many episodes, he would beg Bob to go on adventures with him, and his sister would tell him, no, you couldn't. But then again, he's a kid. The writers wrote him as a kid. They wrote him as a kid who liked to play, liked to get in trouble. But as the series went on, he also strived to be more like his mentors. He started a business like his sister did, and he wanted to be a hero like Bob.
By the power vested in me, I give you a field commission as Guardian. First level.
Oh my god! It's happening! It's happening!
Now as for Bob, he was the best. He wasn't overly cocky or overly stoic. He was just a nice guy, trying to help his friends, trying to do the right thing. He was real, like an actual person you could run into on the street. And you know this because things didn't always go his way.
Care to join me, Bob?
Sure. Thanks, Dot.
In the end, these three literally felt like a family, like you were watching an actual family unit, and you wanted to see them succeed, especially against all crazy odds. Speaking of which, the villains. Oh my lord, the villains. First, there's Hexadecimal. She's crazy.
Happy, happy, happy.
Super powerful, like magical powerful. And she kind of has the hots for Bob.
Now, Scuzzy. You know the Guardian is mine.
Next there's Megabyte, the super virus, the main man. He's conniving, he's suave.
You know, Bob, all you have to do is input one small favor, and I might be able to keep this from happening again. No promises, of course.
Yet, he could also turn into a monstrous beast at the drop of a hat. And to embody this character, he was voiced by the late Tony J. You know Tony J, right? Crud. He voiced one of the side characters in Hunchback of Notre Dame. Which character was it again?
Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin.
Oh yeah, I think he was one of the gargoyles. Finally, the last threat to mainframe and one of the staples of the show were the games.
Warning, incoming game. Warning, incoming game.
Every so often, the mysterious user would send down a purple GameCube. Once inside, Bob and his crew will reboot, or rather, kind of change their form to match whatever the game is in order to defeat the user. So if the user was, let's say, Mario, they would become Goombas and Koopas and all kind of creatures to beat Mario. If they win, the game gets ejected. If they lose, that entire section gets deleted. And all the main characters, or any character inside, will get turned into little slugs or nullified. Now, it's strange because this is the only thing that used to bother me about the show. It used to really bug me that if you played, let's say, Mega Man, or even Pacman, I mean, when you win Pacman, it doesn't delete part of your computer. You know what? Let's hold on to this thought for later, shall we? So now that we're all caught up, let's get to the meat of the episode. The reboot of Reboot. I'm going to show the trailer that was recently released and then give a short critique about it. Afterwards, I'm going to throw out some random ideas as to what could have been done differently, what could have been done better or less better or whatever. But basically, I'm going to take the old and the new trailer and try and find a mid-ground that could have been, should have been, would have been if Reboot was done differently. So, without further ado, hold on to your butts, people. We're jumping into it. Here is a trailer for the reboot of Reboot.
It's time to send humanity back to the Dark Ages.
Alan Turing High. Only the most tech-progressive school in the city.
Nothing happens on the first day of school.
This is my house now.
Am I happy to be here? We'll see.
Room 0.
Room 0?
I'm Austin. This is Parker. Trey.
I'm Tamara.
Whoa. Look at all this tech. Quit touching stuff. I knew this school was gonna be cool, but this is incredible.
Guardians, your mission has commenced.
Wait, who are you?
They call me Vera. I'm the virtual evolutionary recombinant.
She's an exchange student.
Zip Ward.
Frank Fist.
Yeah.
Energy shurikens.
Firewall.
You must operate covertly and never reveal your Guardian identities.
Whoops.
The Guardian Code will not stop me. Megabyte.
I reactivated you. I control you.
Invade and infect.
He must be connected to the sorcerer. Purge the system, now. We need to stop that maniac before he starts the next world war.
Okay, guys. It's save the world time. No pressure.
Do the right thing. You know what this means, right?
You are next generation Guardians, the first humans to defend cyberspace.
It's okay. We got this. Vector! Gotcha! It's gonna blow! I'm ready.
Okay. Where to start? First things first. I'm not judging the actors. These people might be fine actors, and you know what? This might be their first acting debut, and I really hope this show gets them the status they're looking for. I wish them the best, because I have nothing against them. This trailer is not about them. It is about what the trailer shows us about the show coming up. How it presents it as an idea to us. Now, with that being said, what were they thinking? It's so cliche, from the characters to the setup. Everything about it just screams it's been done before, it's safe, and we're doing this because it's what kids like these days. It just hurts to watch it. Even from just these short clips, you could see the character types they're pulling from. These character types you've seen before. There's the jock, who I'm going to guess doesn't like technology and finds it geeky. There's the tough girl, who, oh, good job, writers. You got two birds with one stone. You got the girl and the tough one, the rough one. So that just leaves us with, well, the leader of the group and the, quintessential geek of the group. $5 say it's the geek of the group that probably gets the cool power of creating firewalls. Awesome. The geek, of course, has tech, while everyone else has weapons like
shurikens.
Yeah, that. Oh, and don't forget the wacky character who doesn't fit in with the humans, so they have to keep her a secret from everyone else, because she's from the computer and no one could know about it. Now let's talk about the world, or the general design of the show. Once again, such cookie cutter. Once again, we've seen this before. It's the kids who I bet you don't get along at first. I bet you they all like, we don't like each other. But then they find a secret. And the secret gives them powers. And now they must work together as a group to fight evil and keep the secret hidden from anyone else. Heck, the secret's even in their school to make it easy for them to run to while trying to dodge the principal or dodge the teachers. Where have I seen this before? Oh, VR Troopers, that's it. Lastly, let's address the one thing that should have been the first thing of the show, but wasn't. The CG. You took a show that was known for being a pinnacle step in animation, computer animation, and the reboot has a CG being a second note to the live action. Fine. What's the CG? Power Ranger-esque armor. Don't get me wrong, what we see in the designs are a bit intricate. They each have cool face plates, each have their own patterns, and who knows, the action in the show might be very well choreographed animation-wise. But still, it's pretty much Power Rangers. Group of kids, get powers, get color-coded suits, visors, and it's Power Rangers. And yeah, I know we don't see much of him, but they kind of downplayed Megabyte. Rather than be a sleek, tall, muscular character. He's really stocky and bulky. Comes off more like a muscular henchman than someone who can be both intelligent and threatening. If it isn't obvious by now, I think this reboot as it's being presented to us is just bad. It is no good. Who knows? The show itself might be a good show. It might be entertaining, despite the cliches. It might have good action sequences. Who knows? But in the end, it's not a reboot of Reboot. It's a reboot only by name. Pun intended. But jokes aside, no fan should ever see something that's the reimagining of their beloved franchise and simply say, huh, the only thing it has in common with the original is the name. Jumanji. Thank you. Okay guys, let's get to the segment I want to call What They Could Have Done Differently. I'm going to throw out some random ideas, and just so you guys can know, this is not something I had in backlog. I wasn't sitting down writing fanfics about this. I saw this trailer, realized something was wrong, went back, watched a few episodes of Reboot, the original series, to kind of cleanse the palate, and just said, you know what? I have a better idea, or at least I think I do, so I'm going to throw these ideas at you. And tell me what you think. We're going to find a mid-ground, as mentioned earlier, between the original show and the new show. And let's see how that goes. First things first, yes, you can keep the live-action segments. Now, don't kill me for this, but let me explain. We're going to keep the live-action segments as intros and outros for the bulk of the show. And the characters in these live-action segments will not be seen. There'll be shadows on the wall, silhouettes behind a glass door, a person in a hood, humans interacting with computers, but it won't be the main person that you're going to be following throughout the series. Think kind of like that old Carmen Sandiego cartoon, where every episode will begin with a kid at a computer talking to Carmen Sandiego, who was just in the computer. Kind of like that. You have the whole thing begin with a shot of a supercomputer. Animation, please. Thank you. So you have your supercomputer. And now you need to set up the world in which Reboot takes place. So we're going to have a human character, unseen, narrate what is going on.
This is a supercomputer, he says. There are several of these throughout the world. They keep society running, from our power, to our medical systems, to our government. And each one of these is given a special antivirus to keep it safe. It is called the Guardian program. I myself created a Guardian for this particular computer, which we nicknamed Mainframe. The Guardian's name? Bob.
At this point, you smash cut to an actual computer image of Bob walking around in Mainframe. Maybe someone calls out Bob's name rather than the scientist actually saying it, but you get the idea. The general consensus is this. There's a supercomputer, several throughout the world. Different scientists make antiviruses, put them into the computers to keep them safe. You have your live action. You have your interaction between the computers and the real world. But the main character is still Bob and the people he protects. The difference now in this series, Bob and the people in the computer, in Mainframe, are aware that there is a world outside and that they are connected to it. But they're not fully aware to what extent. This is a good character study, because you can have Bob meet other Guardians from other computers, and you can have this interaction between the Guardians and real people be part of their characteristics, if you would. Bob was made by one guy, one lone computer programmer. He's humble, but he could go ahead and meet another Guardian who was made by 6 computer guys, just tapping away really fast and saying, we have to work together to make the ultimate Guardian. It kind of adds a nice dynamic between the characters. So Bob does his thing, protecting Mainframe. You get the setup. Now you can cut back to that guy in the hood, the one the new trailer called The Wizard. God, that's such a stupid name. Anyway, the Wizard is a guy who wants to hack into the Mainframe computer and take all the secrets of the world with him. Once again, keeping his face covered, we see that he sends in games. Remember that idea I mentioned earlier? Yeah, so the idea of a game, for some reason, deleting part of your computer for no reason whatsoever. Well, what if the first time it happens, this wizard character sends a game in as a kind of distraction, when in truth, piggybacking on it, Megabyte, who embeds himself into the mainframe. Now you have a running narrative. Megabyte is always in the mainframe trying to pick away at it. But to distract the people in mainframe to get his schemes going, his creator often sends a game in. Think of it as the ultimate way to troll the government. Don't just send a virus in, play a game against them. The wizard plays games to mess with the computer and cause mistakes and glitches, while his real virus is off doing sinister things, horrible things. Once again, you have this dynamic between the characters in the mainframe computer and the characters in the real world. You could create entire storylines around this simple premise. You could have the boss, the one in charge of the scientist who made Bob, angry and telling him, if your computer system does not hold up, if your antivirus does not work, we're going to delete it and replace it. Now you have this whole dynamic where the characters in mainframe aren't even aware that they're in trouble from the outside world. Well, how about this? As a climax to the first or second season, Bob somehow gets information as to where the games are coming from. He sends it to his creator. The creator says, we found the location of the wizard. Next thing you know, boom, SWAT team comes in, takes away the wizard, confiscates his machines. But then, the scientists talk to each other and say,
we've confiscated all of the wizard's files, but they were empty. He must have deleted them before we got there, or at the very least, sent them somewhere else.
Now you cut back to Megabyte, and there he sits, in mainframe, with all the access that his mentor, his creator, once had. Now he's running loose, on his own, with all this power, and you realize Megabyte became sentient and turned on his creator. It's a great character twist. All this comes together pretty well, I think. But once again, it's just one simple idea. And I just thought about it right now. I'm sure you guys have better ideas. Yeah, I'm sure you've read better ideas. If you have, put links down below. Let me know of your ideas. Let me know if you think my concept can hold water. Send me links to fanfics, comics, whatever, of Mainframe, of Reboot, and more importantly, you tell me if you think the new Reboot series is going to hold up. Because if I could draw out simple ideas like this, I think anyone else could. And that's kind of sad. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to two good friends of mine, old friends. First one is Lamont. Hey dude. Lamont is someone who's always encouraged me to take old ideas and reimagine them for future concepts. So thank you for that. The other one is Christina. Christina, if you're watching this, I know you're a huge fan of Reboot, and I hope I did you proud. Once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.